eyes froze when they met the figure of a dog in the corner. It was a curled dog claw woven into the texture of the carpet. I remembered from the stories my father told me that this symbol kept evil spirits away, but now in the middle of the room, I felt like he was staring at me. My mother said,
"Son, it's just a pattern on a carpet. There is nothing to be afraid of."
My mother tried to console me, but I could not take my eyes off the symbol. That night I tossed and turned in my bed, sleepless. In the darkness of the room, the dog's eyes seemed to be staring at me. My breathing became heavy. My heart began to beat. Rapidly, it was as if something was there, following my eyes. For several days, that terrible figure followed me. Every time I saw it, something stirred inside me, but my parents tried to calm me down, saying it was just a pattern. One night, as I closed my eyes in my bed, I heard a rustling. I opened my eyes quickly, and a shadow was passing across my room. The figure of the dog tooth seemed to come alive in the light reflected on the wall. It was as if he wanted to get out of the carpet. I let out a frightened scream, and my parents rushed into my room. I tried to tell them what had happened, but the figure of the cockroach was still there. My parents tried to calm me down, but the fear inside me wouldn't go away. The next day, when I entered my room, the figure of the cockroach was gone. There was an empty spot on the carpet. For a moment I was relieved, but soon I thought I saw it in a corner of the room. When I rubbed my eyes and looked again, I didn't know if the figure was really there or if I was imagining it. That night, I heard strange noises in my room. I wanted to close the door and lock it, but the lock was broken. As I sat trembling on my bed, I heard a slight rustling all around the room. A shadow was moving from one corner of the room to another. I could no longer tell if it was a shadow or a real presence. Finally, I gathered my courage and decided to leave my room. As I walked along the corridor, my heart beat faster with each step. At the end of the hallway, the figure of the Mythological was standing on the carpet in the living room. Suddenly, that terrible figure moved. Its eyes seemed to be fixed on me. I recoiled in fear, but I felt as if something was pushing me away. I was drawn into that dark and cold figure, as if there was something to push me back. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in a dark forest. In the dim light of the moonlight, the figures of a lot of cockroaches appeared around me. Although I shouted and called out, my voice only echoed into the void. Finally, there came a moment when I was surrounded by the dog claw figures. I was trembling in fear, desperately trying to escape, but they never let me go. And since that day, I don't really know what happened. Maybe I'm still there in a dark place, inside those terrible figures. Maybe it was just a dream. But every night when I lie in my bed, when I close my eyes, I feel that I still see the figures of the dog faces.